Hi guys, we're going to be looking at the most entertaining result of this weekend. It was not many years ago when Bartomeu drove the Titanic of Barcelona into an iceberg, and nobody saw this recovery coming. Especially when the captain of the stature of Messi had been forced to leave the ship. But here we are, and it's 21st century, and cruise ships bigger than Titanic are sailing, and Barca look like they are back where they should belong. And we have resident Barcelona fan Kriska. I don't want to take too long before I hand it over to him to express his emotions. Kriska, note yours, please.
I'm speechless. Honestly, I don't think any of us saw the result coming because even after the Bayern game, I was really skeptical. But before coming to the fixture, the turnaround, as you said, it's really emotional, right? We have had to sit through shit for 10 years. 2015 is when we last won the UCL. Maybe this time also we may end up not coming close, but finally the energy is there. This is something we discussed in our PL stream as well. Like the fear factor that is missing for United. I think Barca had been in the same trajectory. It's insane how fast the turnaround has been. None of us saw this coming because when Xavi was kicked out, there was a lot of skepticism because Laporta did that in a very underhanded manner, openly saying Xavi is going to extend and then to turn his back and sacking him. It did not look good. It felt like the drama, the dark clouds will continue to follow us for another season. But all of it seems like a distant memory now. That is how fast the club has turned around. I'm just gonna enjoy this while it lasts. I'm cautiously optimistic
And
about it.
Kriska, you can take pride in the fact that the turnaround has been done in the typical Barca way, where you, I don't know, planted some seeds I don't know, 15, 17, 18 years ago, and now they've borne
Yeah,
fruits, and the fruits been as delicious as it gets, having players of the quality of Lamine Yamal, Kubarsi, Casado, Bernal at that age at the club growing up together.
absolutely, man. I
Made
think
us
if
feel like
Barca started a
Barcelona.
financial school, what we are missing is a capable president who doesn't lie to the supporters. If somehow we can, spawn that, we are set for the next decade, I would say.
Yeah. Now, thanks for that, Kriska. Now let's look at how the match panned out. So Real Madrid going into this fixture are no pushovers. We have here almost an all-conquering side who got picked apart pretty easily, you might argue, by Barcelona. So, Clase, what's your take? What went wrong for Madrid, and what did Barca get right?
I think
Class at Madrid, sir. Now he cannot get anything in his life right now.
nothing is working. What can we say? Okay, but yeah, the game actually first half was quite even, to be honest. And Madrid did play decent enough to get into the lead. Mbappe was like born offside, getting so many offside calls, and it was also clever that Barca played their offside trap quite well. And the main issue was the pressing that Vinicius and Mbappe were doing together. Vinicius was rather than pressing correctly, he was just pressing straight rather than going for Kunde and then going to the first right center back. Whereas that immediately closed out the passing lane. So uh, it was just easy for Madrid, or let's say for Barca, to pick a pass from their center back to their midfield and made the transition quite easy for them. And I also said it on the day of the game itself, like Barca looked like a completely different side where they need the fewest passes from goal to goal, and they are the best team in transition right now. And they have the players exactly. And Rafinha, the fact that Kunde can play and play as a third center back allows Balde to go on the wing, which allows Rafinha to move into the right half space of Militao and Lucas Vasquez, which made it quite easy because they had a midfield overload there. And Rafinha looks like a completely different player right now, and it's just impossible to stop him. And of course, Lamine Yamal and Rafinha have like this telepathic connection right now, which they have been fostering some way, where he's able to find out Rafinha from anywhere. And that just
It
like the
is.
fourth goal and all was just four passes and they were in. And it was as if watching Manchester United play against Barcelona. It's just you
2009.
just see it's
2009.
just contagious. You see.
Yeah,
Okay.
I only want to add a couple of things to it, right? I think it's so nice to see the German effectiveness come to the Spanish football. We have seen a lot of imports go the other way, right? With Spanish coaches kind of trying to instill philosophy and technicality into the German Bundesliga. For once, we are having a manager who's very ruthless about what he wants, right? There's no, I think if you look at how Barcelona is actually playing, there's a lot more freedom to express for players like what do you call it, the three forwards that you're talking about, right? And that's where I think this telepathy, this I want to say the inherent understanding of where the other person is and almost kind of capitalizing on it in the pitch and just feeding off it is something that we have seen come back to Barcelona after a long time,
Yeah,
right? Where
absolutely,
players were
Ajay.
super coached to be Messi, Neymar, what do you call it, Suarez. Now it's just like you be you, right?
Yeah.
You go there on the pitch. We'll provide you this thing. And one thing he's figured out is this team this midfield cannot run. They cannot cover as much space. So what he's done is he's brought the forward defense line forward or defense line high, which almost kind of negates all of their problem statements and actually taught them how to play the offside trap. I think they've done it twice as more as any other club in all
I
of
think
Europe.
Barca has drawn like 70 offsides. The next is Brighton at 35 or something,
Correct.
which is
Yes.
an insane stat for a club as big as Barca. And your point about the German philosophy is spot on. And I think that was a huge gamble that in retrospect has paid off more than what any of us could have imagined for Barca to abandon the Spanish roots. Because if you look at ever since Pep Guardiola left, we have settled for a series of non-elite coaches simply because they were Spanish or they had the Barca DNA, be it Ronald Koeman or Tata Martino. And for once we said, you know what, football has evolved. Whatever worked so far, whatever took us here, that is not going to cut it. And to be able to say that, it takes a lot of guts. We went through that in the summer by bringing in Flick, and the ruthlessness that he has brought to the team is something else. The likes of Rafinha was going to get shipped off to, Saudi League or
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah. But look at what he has managed out of somebody like that. That's
I think Barca's DNA will never go as long as they have La Masia. Okay, so they are just going to players after players, and I think the DNA will never go as long as you have your academy in place.
But the mentality has changed, Clasico. That's where the challenge was in the last.
Mentality and approach, like Ajay mentioned, has clearly changed. I want to just talk about what I think Barca got right, but also what could have gone wrong under different circumstances. Because especially in the first half, first of all, if you divide Barcelona into two halves, not horizontally, vertically, the right half of Barcelona is much more dynamic and therefore chaotic than the left half. Because in the right side, Lamine Yamal is obviously the X-factor player, and like any player of that level is not expected to spend most of his energy pressing or recovering. There is a certain freedom that comes with the level of creativity that you bring. He exercises that. Then you have Koundé, who's typically asked to be reserved in the right half space without really bombarding into the byline. And also the centre back Kubarsi over there is as talented as he is pretty inexperienced, and he tends to be too eager for the ball at times when he should be laid back. So there is a lot of chaos in that side, but it is, it's double-edged. Sometimes it goes your way, but sometimes they come up with crazy stuff you probably don't anticipate or prepare for an opposition. But on the other hand, the left half of Barcelona, I feel, is very methodical. So Rafinha, Balde, they have, and Inigo Martinez. So Inigo Martinez is a seasoned player. He's been there. He's done that. He probably will not have the ceiling of any of these Barcelona players will eventually go on to achieve. But he's very composed, knows exactly what he wants to do. And at that age, without being exactly a pace monster to command a defense that plays offside trap at Barcelona's level, It takes guts and brains both, which both he has demonstrated so far. Rafinha, with all his attacking ability, his band of a left foot, he brings in work ethic. He's disciplined. He presses like the coach has instructed him to press. And Balde is actually a very vertical left back in the sense. I mean, a typical tiki-taka Barcelona setup might not have wanted Balde to play because he usually plays forward or backwards, and it's one-twos rather than intricate build-up play that he does. But these three players, they stick to their task and they're very methodical. So Flick has kind of balanced out the chaos over there by the effectiveness over here, and that seems to pay dividends. Now,
Same thing
where
that
it
Spain did
goes wrong for Barcelona, in the first half, that exact same chaos was actually exploited by Vinicius. I mean, he did not score, and you criticize him for missing the chances, but you forget that he missed the chances that he himself created out of nothing. He had the beating of Kunde, he had the beating of Kubarsi, he put both of them on the ground. He sold them multiple times in the first half. It was just a matter of not getting it right in the box for once, which is, it's kind of unfair to ask a player to do that every time. Mbappe missed so many chances. So had some of those been converted, had maybe Vinicius scored after cutting in from the left, beating Kunde to the dust, the match might
We would
have
be
gone.
having a very different conversation. I'd be
Exactly. So
talking
next
about
time
how I
you face
got it right
Real,
with the offside trap.
yeah, next time you
How it
face
was
Real, you
system.
shouldn't be going in with the mindset of okay, guaranteed victory, superior team. No, it could have gone that way as well.
Exactly.
It worked
That's
for it.
exactly why. Yes. So, be it me or any other Barca fan, that's why we are still only cautiously optimistic in a week where we managed an aggregate of
8-2.
8-1
Eight,
against the
yeah.
likes of Bayern and Madrid.
Bayern and you definitely have cause for optimism. I'm not denying that. Club is on the rise. But yeah, Madrid, it's
I think
just a matter
Madrid,
of getting few things right
Madrid,
for them.
Madrid has replaced their midfield of Modric, Cruz, and
The engine,
Casemiro
it matters.
with they have
Yeah,
replaced the passing the passing and the calmness and the tempo
with
building play
dynamism.
with dynamism, which in my opinion will not work for every game. Chouameni and
Yeah.
Camavinga cannot control the tempo of the game. They need someone like a Cruz who can hold up and say, slow the game here. This is not going as we want.
That's
And
exactly
they
what
miss.
De Jong's
I mean, I don't want to speak too much, but there's one key player I think we missed to mention. So a lot of the first Barcelona goal, it came out of pure bad defense and terrible offside trap by the Real Madrid defense. And I don't think if you have Carvajal in the setup, a leader of that level who's been there for so long, it would have probably been much better than what we saw. There was a very visible disconnect between Militao, Rudiger, Vasquez, and Mendy. They were all over the place. So they're missing Carvajal, replacing a player of Toni Kroos's level. Easier said than done. But yeah, I mean they're Real Madrid, so they have Galacticos in there. They have absolute superstars. Matter of time, matter of time.
It's just a matter
Yeah.
of time. Ancelotti takes his bro out. I think
Yeah.
they'll be fine.
Ajay,
It
you
seemed-
were.
No, in fact, Charlie
Yeah.
has been wanting to go for a while. Charlie,
It seemed like Ancelotti lost his eyebrows yesterday, and they were shaved off by someone before the game. So like as we has correctly pointed out here, right? So as Vinicius and Mbappe were running like at 35 kilometers per hour at their speed to Pau Kubarsi, there you see a 17-year-old GCSE kid holding the backline and holding offside traps, like he's played for Barcelona like for 10 years in the game. So apart from all these tactical plays and about the results, right? So historically speaking, when it comes to Real Madrid, you see their downfall when you see them sacrificing their tactical play to fit one star player into their team. Okay, more often than not, you see Barcelona's rise when they don't sacrifice their tactical play, and when a generation of La Masia players come through the academy ranks and play into the first team and then get them trophies, or even command the game and get generational results. Not only generational performances, generational results. So I see actually a lot of Barcelona fans complain that Flick actually is not playing Guardiola style football and this Renaissance type of football that Barcelona played in the 08-09 era. But let me explain here. If AC/DC covered Led Zeppelin's song, right, it wouldn't be a pop song. It will still be a rock song sung by a rock band. It will still be a rock song. Okay. So Flick is almost playing the same type of football that Guardiola is still playing, just that he's interpreting his own type of gegenpressing style into Barcelona's play. He's just embracing Barcelona's style of play, not only reinventing the wheel at Barcelona. That's what I would say. One thing that I would like Hansi Flick to do is not leave Barcelona like he left Bayern for 2 to 3 years and then jumping out to another club to manage a national team or something. So yeah, he won his accolades at Bayern, winning the treble, winning the sextuple, if I'm not wrong.
Charlie, I would
2020.
say you're thinking way too far ahead for a man who was in the third month.
And I also think that
No.
I think when you're saying this part of it, go ahead, Charlie. Sorry.
No. Yeah, please go ahead, Ajay. Yeah.
No, just saying the pressing part of it. I don't think Barcelona are doing it as aggressively as what German teams do. I think they.
I have a feeling. I don't know the stats, but I'm pretty sure in both the Bayern games and Madrid games, there would have been long spells where Barca had less possession than
Correct.
the opposition.
They are comfortable.
Never a case under Pep Guardiola.
Correct. They are comfortable being without the ball. And what you're seeing is people like Rafinha and Lewandowski and Yamal, what they're trying to do is just wait for the moment. They're all just waiting for that moment. And I think when the moment arises, they're all they know exactly what to do. Right?
Yeah.
Between the three of them and the midfield and the wide the fullbacks is what
they are the best in transition. The moment they get the ball, they are lethal.
Transition, and we have been very lucky. So Rafinha is going through the kind of purple patch that Bellingham went through last year.
Correct.
So you really cannot expect him to sustain this or replicate this in the seasons to come. Hopefully, replacing somebody like Lewandowski with Haaland, if I can say that.
Also, I have a huge thing right now on Bellingham. Like, was he just at the right place at the right
Is it
time?
a bet that he will not score as many goals? Because if that is
the thing is, Real Madrid did not have Rodrigo as well. That was a huge blow for them. If Rodrigo had played, Bellingham would have played centrally, which would have made ball progression easier for Madrid.
No, but the challenge is they've been struggling without. Chris just dropped. But yeah, I was just saying that in terms of how they have progressed it, right? Even with Rodrigo in the system, they would have struggled to do it with Mbappe and Vini, because Mbappe doesn't want to press one bit, right? They were there for the taking, as like what VS was saying. They are central defense. What do you call it? You can't go 38 games in the season playing a highlight, right? At some point in time, there will be players there'll be teams that will figure it out. You'll have a late run from a midfielder that will then break it, and then once one team does it, then a second team does it, and then it becomes, they're not as great as, conceding just 2 goals against or 1 goal against Barcelona and Real put together, right?
Bayern and Real.
Bayern and Real, right? So I think that is just waiting to come. But my bigger challenge with probably Real Madrid is Ancelotti is if anybody is qualified in the world, right, of handling superstars, and who's almost always done it comfortably, there's nobody else that I know of
better than Ancelotti. Absolutely.
Not even Ferguson or Pep or any of these players. Nobody else is.
When it comes to pure people management in football, Ancelotti is the textbook.
He says, right? First, the players have to be my friends. Then only they will trust me. Yeah. So he builds friendship with them first before even starting coaching them.
To be honest, in his AC Milan days, as somebody, I think we were just talking about age before the podcast started. Ancelotti, with the way he actually kind of understands players, I think while we were just talking about Ten Hag doing misprofiling of players, Ancelotti is the actual opposite of it, in being sharp in understanding this is what these players bring. And therefore, I'm not pressed on a 4-3-3 or a 4-1-2-3, which how he set up with Benzema, Vini, and Rodrigo. He's not somebody who will just say, this is the only system I can play, right? This is the guy that then coached Maldini, Nesta, that famous backline, and Baresi to actually then say, Baresi is okay, good, but can I make him great, right? This is the kind of player manager that we are talking about. Someone who actually drew from the strengths of the players and played 3-4 10s in that AC Milan team, that we are all talking about in the mid 2000s, right? With Seedorf, with Kaka, with Pirlo is what at
Sure.
advanced state, right?
Shevchenko and Kaka.
Shevchenko was not necessarily the forward; it was Inzaghi that
Yeah,
started out.
Inzaghi was the number 9. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the only thing that they learned from that is Inzaghi's offside. This Real
Exactly.
Madrid setup.
Yeah, I think they're still kind of having to teach that to Mbappe. But I want to say that is where the challenge is, right? Will Real Madrid have the patience to say, yes, this year might be an off. Let's go second. Let's kind of make sure that we do strong recruitment across the midfield over the summer, all right? And then relaunch again when we have everybody at their peak. All of them, they know each other. Mbappe is no stranger. He's not demanding as much attention as he is right now. So I think it almost goes back to Perez as a question. Has Ancelotti earned enough respect, enough credit in the bank for Perez to then say, let's take this season off. Let's try and make sure that we're going. Once Mbappe, Vinny, Rodrigo click, Bellingham click, we could see another 4-5 years of domination, right?
Yep.
So
potentially more. They have so many years of football in them. And also regarding the players that went with, there were a few Real Madrid fans arguing that, see, like you correctly mentioned, the offside trap, it is as risky as it is rewarding. I mean, imagine somebody, I don't know, somebody like Roberto Firmino linking a play up front against Barcelona's defense. That spells trouble right there. Real probably missed that kind of link. Maybe Bellingham could have gone central, but they had other options. There was Arda Güler, who Ancelotti believes is not yet ready to step into the squad and take that role on. But ultimately, see, people love to see the richest man in the neighborhood sell his house. So we are hearing rumors. I'm not really sure if this is true that Vinicius might not be winning the Ballon d'Or this year.
it's happening right now.
It is
Yeah, it's
happening
happening
right now.
right now as we speak. Yeah.
So that those kind of the individual ambition is not something that Real Madrid players ever lacked, and we've seen glorious sides in the early 2000s actually not win as much as they should have with the talent that they had because of certain problems. The need to shoehorn. I mean, there was this quote, right? Once there was Makelele who was at Real Madrid, and Perez said, Makelele, this player, he cannot run, he's not fast, he cannot shoot, he will be forgotten. And you took Makelele out, you put in David Beckham, and suddenly the team is not functional. So if Real Madrid goes that way, where they are shoehorning,
They didn't replace Makelele with Beckham. They replaced him with Jeremy. I don't know if you
they
guys know.
replaced him with Jeremy, but in effect, Beckham joined that year, and the fundraising was part of the sale.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be an interesting.
Yeah. For all the Rodrigo talks on this episode, an actual Rodrigo is winning the Ballon d'Or. So yeah, let's get on about that.
See,
Football
that
is
brings in the problem. So Mbappe joined Real Madrid definitely for the stature of the club that he supported growing up, but he has his personal ambitions to fulfill. Vinicius, who thought that he had won the Ballon d'Or, might not be winning it, and we need to see how this pans out. It might make up for very melodramatic events in the future to come. Two excellent players going at it while wanting to win for the club, but at the same time harboring their own ambitions. I don't think Benzema or Vinicius, I don't think Vinicius or Mbappe wants to be another Benzema. They don't
Absolutely.
have a.
Absolutely.
Yes, I don't know if Madrid fans start to realize, but Mbappe has been a lot less selfish than what I expected him to be. I actually routinely see him trying to set Vinny up for success, but Vinny, with all due respect, being the egomaniac he is, or it's his Ballon d'Or push, whatever, I don't see him actually reciprocating that to Mbappe. That has been a big
He
problem.
has been the
also.
man at Real Madrid for 2-3 years. He would
Yeah.
not give up his throne
Mbappe,
so easily to a newcomer, even if it is Mbappe.
No, it is
I
actually
think
the reverse.
Mbappe
I
is
think
just
it started-
overawed by the aura of the club right now. He still needs a year to settle
Yeah.
in and understand how big
yeah,
Real
he
Madrid
almost
is.
feels like this employee who got his dream job after the interviewer took a chance
Yeah,
on
only that he kind of sold 500 million worth of shares in the PSG this thing, and then had to sell an entire neighborhood because it was gifted to him for him to stay at PSG. But yeah, I
But
mean, we
I
call
mean,
him.
if I were a Real Madrid fan, there is nothing much to worry about. It's you have the talents, you have the club, you are Real
I think
Madrid.
I think
You
it's
have
just
the
a
patience.
game.
You have the
Yeah.
They
patience.
are going to win another UCL and say
Guys,
like, hey,
yeah,
this is
yeah,
not my
guys,
cabinets.
guys, it's just an El Clasico win. Okay, for all the talk that we've had here, Barca's next game is against Espanyol, the next door neighbors. Okay, so let's make sure we don't make it a Monaco match or an Osasuna match where we lost like sheepishly. That's it. Yeah,
Chris,
Yeah,
I think it's for
absolutely.
you
I
to
think
answer.
Barca had its best day
yeah.
at the office while Madrid happened to have its
This week.
worst. So the Madrid meltdown is absolutely unjustified. It's just insane. I'm really enjoying it, especially with if Vinny doesn't end up winning the Ballon d'Or, it's as good a week as it can get for Barca fans, but it's not as bad for Madrid as it seems right now. It's just a
No.
matter of time before they click. Mbappe, he is this generation's best big game player. He is
Correct.
the Iniesta of this generation. Like we all saw what he did to Messi and Argentina in the finals. I've never seen anybody terrorize uh, any footballing
Mbappe almost ruined the plot
Even the
for
plot. Yeah.
football's
the plots
greatest
broke.
ever storyline.
Yeah, this is the guy we are talking about. Sure, he might be enamored, he might be, intimidated by Madrid aura, but it will all come together. If
Yeah.
not this season, definitely in the next season. So, yeah,
So I
cautious
think
about
we
this.
can conclude on that note and go see the Ballon d'Or drama as it unfolds.
Yes.
So Barcelona fans can rejoice and Real Madrid fans
Quick,
just need to be
quick
patient.
poll. Rodri deserved winner. Who saw it coming? We still don't know, by the way. Nobody
I
thought
didn't
this
see
would be
it
so
coming,
close.
but I
I
wouldn't
mean,
complain about
There
Rodri
everyone.
are
winning.
no surprises in football anymore.
Yeah. No,
Right?
everyone saw it coming.
Fabrizio Romano is the
Yeah.
big worst thing that could have happened to football ever.
I think we should drop the episode by saying like a Barca fan is talking about a deserved Ballon d'Or. Okay, I think that just ends the story. Okay,
What the F
What the
is
hell?
that
Yeah.
supposed to mean? Messi ended up with 2 less Ballon d'Ors than what he should have.
Yeah, if it's a popularity contest, Messi should have won like 10 or more, to be honest. Okay. So,
We are
I mean, that's a
talking
given.
about a team
That's a
whose
given.
Iniestas and Xavis never
Yeah.
won the Ballon d'Or.
For all the Ballon d'Or allegations that Real Madrid fans put us through, Cristiano Ronaldo won 2 Ballon d'Ors in the season where he won shit. Simple as that. He just had 60 goals and assists, where Messi had like 55 goals and assists and won stuff.
I love
But
how
Ronaldo won
Charlie
shit.
says he just had 16 goals and assists. Like it's normal.
Yeah.
I mean, he
So I
had
think
5 more goals and assists than Messi, man. Come on, that
Anyway,
wasn't
but
justified.
I don't
In
think
2
any
other
of
seasons.
us saw this Ballon d'Or. This was not supposed to be as close as it is. The only other season I remember is Virgil van Dijk and Manuel Neuer
Yeah.
season.
what about
Remind me,
Lewandowski? What about Lewandowski season?
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Lewandowski,
Lewandowski
like,
season.
man.
Remember the 8-2?
The season that never
Remember the
happened.
8-2? 8-2.
He-
You
Hey,
hate to watch
okay,
that
you know
season.
what? I've had some time to think about it. I think Lewandowski should be given that Ballon d'Or, like how they do posthumously and all. Give
Oh,
it.
God bless. Maybe he will this season with Hansi Flick, right? Because Hansi
Yeah.
Flick gets the best out of him like nobody else does. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Cool.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Great chat.
Thank you. Bye bye.